Hey guys, what's up? It's Sarah. I'm back at it again with another video. I know on this channel we talk a lot about getting your desires to manifest, going after your goals, attracting money, and while that's all great, there's a whole other part of the equation. Here's the thing, true success has to mean that you're happy as well. Because what's the point of having all the material success but still feeling sad, lonely, unsatisfied on the inside? Is it even real success then? I don't think so. So if you're always chasing something that's outside of you, it becomes destination addiction. And I wished I knew where I found that term, but I don't remember. And the idea is that if you attain something you've been wanting for a long time, you only enjoy it and feel happy for a little bit, but then you go on chasing the next thing and the next thing, and it just becomes that vicious cycle. While I was brainstorming for this video, I thought of Vanessa Lau. Some of you may be familiar. She's a creator on YouTube and ran a very successful business in the marketing space, course seller, coach, and all of that. And well, she started and she just took off like a rocket ship and everyone was looking up to her. And then at the height of her success, she quit. And she made a public statement where she explained how she felt and how she wasn't happy with the business she built, even though she was making $500,000 a month. Wow. So while I don't know her exact circumstances beside than what she publicly shared, she was just writing how she didn't like the business and the life that she built for herself. And I can't even imagine how bad she must have felt to get to that point. But it really shows that you can't attach your happiness only to these external goals, because if you feel a void inside of you, it's not going to go away. And of course, in her case, I do think that she burned out and that she was probably dealing with way too much pressure. But then again, all of that can easily happen if you only focused on the external goals, on the material goals. And it happens especially if we aren't content with ourselves in the first place. And I just hope she recovers from that. Anyways, I thought of her when I was preparing this video, but actually I wanted to talk about a book today, and I've talked about this book before, and it is the Almanack of Naval Ravikant. This one. So the book is about building wealth, but it's also about learning to be happy. And in my other video, I was talking about the wealth part, but today I want to talk about the happiness part. I'm going to read you some of my favorite parts and comments. Today, I believe happiness is really a default state. Happiness is where you remove the sense of something missing in your life. We are highly judgmental survival and replication machines. We constantly walk around thinking, I need this or I need that, trapped in the web of desires. Happiness is a state when nothing is missing. When nothing is missing, your mind shuts down and stops running into the past or future to regret something or to plan something. In that absence, for a moment, you have internal silence. When you have internal silence, then you are content and you are happy. Feel free to disagree. Again, it's different for everybody. Happiness to me is mainly not suffering, not desiring, not thinking too much about the future or the past. Really embracing the present moment and the reality of what is and the way it is. If you ever want to have peace in your life, you have to move beyond good and evil. Nature has no concept of happiness or unhappiness. Nature follows unbroken mathematical laws in a chain of cause and effect from the Big Bang to now. Everything is perfect exactly the way it is. It is only in our particular minds we are unhappy or not happy. And things are perfect or imperfect because of what we desire. If you think about it, it's all coming from our human nature to judge things. And this way of thinking, this is good, this is bad, triggers a lot of emotions. And it comes with that expectation of how things should be. And once you have that expectation of how things should be, you're basically now saying something is missing from your life. And when something is missing, you can't be happy. Now, if you remove all of that, there's nothingness and then there's inner peace. If you remove the sense that something is missing, you can't feel happy. So basically, we gotta get out of our own heads and we gotta stop our minds from speeding everywhere, past, future, and all of that. Our lives are a blink of a firefly in the night. You just barely hear. You have to make the most of every minute, which doesn't mean that you chase some stupid desire for your entire life. What it means is every second you have on this planet is very precious, and it's your responsibility to make sure you're happy and interpreting everything in the best possible way. We think of ourselves as fixed and the world as malleable, but it's really we who are malleable and the world is largely fixed. Happiness, love, and passion. aren't things you find, they're choices you make. At any time when you're walking down the streets, a very small percentage of your brain is focused on the present. The rest is planning the future or regretting the past. This keeps you from having an incredible experience. It's keeping you from seeing the beauty in everything and for being grateful for where you are. You can literally destroy your happiness if you spend all of your time living in delusions of the future. We crave experiences that will make us present, but the cravings themselves take us from the present moment. If you pay attention to your thoughts majority of the day, you're probably not really in the present. So you're probably making plans for the future, or you are annoyed by something from the past, right? And I know we all do it naturally. So getting out of these thought loops isn't easy, but we have to try it. It's kind of a paradox if you think of happiness basically means that you're satisfied with what you already have, but success often coming from dissatisfaction, because when you're happy, you're content, you're in a state of appreciation. And to me, when Naval writes that success comes from dissatisfaction, there is a lot of truth to it, because how many times have you desired something or even started a project or business venture from that place of dissatisfaction where you felt like life sucked? And I know we've all been there. You hate your job, you're miserable, so you start your own business and create success, or at least you try. You're poor, you're struggling with money, and you say, F that, I'm gonna be wealthy, and then you make that your focus. Even myself, I've shared this in another video before, I grew up on the equivalent of welfare in Germany, and because of that, I vowed to myself to be well off and to not repeat that same cycle. And I remember even when I was maybe 16, I had this goal and determination to be wealthy and successful one day. And of course, at that age, I didn't act accordingly. I was skipping school, smoking weed every day, but still, I had that in the back of my mind that I had to get it together one day. And the older I got, the more ambitious I got. So if you think about it, why are there so many rags to riches stories? It is exactly because of that, because it's often created from that place of dissatisfaction. And then in the contrary, think of rich kids. A lot of them aren't that ambitious. And yes, they still do well. They get put in the best schools. They already have the resources, the network, the connections. So they're doing well, but it's usually the parents that created the success first. And that were that way because they didn't have anyone to fall back on. So to me, a lot of rich kids seem way less fired up to go big. But of course, with everything, there are exceptions to this. I think it's natural to desire change when you perceive your current situation with pain, and if that makes you transform it into something good, that's great. But my biggest takeaway is that we have to remind ourselves to enjoy the current moment. And when we have goals, to really try enjoying the process of getting there and to really enjoy the journey that comes with it. Our society is set up in a way that we'll always see things that we want. We'll always have desires, and that will never go away. But we can teach our brain to feel content regardless and to find beauty in the current moment. And the irony is that when we do this, we create this inner state of peace and feeling content, and we feel this appreciation for what we already have. And that is exactly when your desires come to you at light speed. And this is when your outer world starts to change and good things start happening for you because you're in this state of appreciation. So either way, it's a win-win. And there's one more quote that I wanted to read to you from the book. What if this life is the paradise we were promised and we're just squandering it? I don't know about you, but this one hits differently. And if you want to dive deeper into the topic of being present, I'd recommend that you read The Power of Now by Eckhart Tolle. And this book gets really deep into the subject, and it's been many years since I read it. It's probably been about 8 years. It's a great read for sure, and it's kind of life-changing. So whoever you are, wherever you are in the world, I hope that you take this one thing away from the video, and that is to be present with your mind and to not attach your entire happiness to external goals. So next time you catch your mind spinning, break this cycle and focus on what is in front of you and get into that state of gratitude. So guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. Don't forget to like and subscribe. If you want to work with me directly, you can book a call with me. The link is below. And if you want to grab any of my other products, like my removing money blockages meditation, I highly recommend that, or my money magnetizer toolkit, those are also linked below. That's it for today, guys, and I see you in the next video. Bye.